Hi, I'm Helen. I am one half of the owners of Julieta, and I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the interior. So, Julieta's really designed as a studio living space, so you can live completely off grid in her. It's got everything you need. So this is the kitchen area. It's quite a spacious area for cooking because we like cooking, and it's just nice if you're going to spend a lot of time in the van. So here we've got a two-ring hob here, which is gas. It gets pretty hot, and it's good for cooking pretty much anything on. And an oven here, which has a bottom function and also a grill. And the ignition on the oven isn't working at the moment, so we have an igniter, but it works really well, this oven. And then underneath here in this cupboard, all your pots and pans. Julieta's pretty well equipped. You've got a big wok frying pan, a smaller one, 2 saucepans, and an oven tray, a roasting tin I should say, which is great for cooking stuff in the oven. It all slots on pretty nicely, doesn't move around too much. There's also a coffee pot, which fits on there really well, and that makes really lovely strong espresso coffee. Just be careful to wash it out properly so it's nice and clean, otherwise it gets a bit manky for the next people, which obviously we don't want. So that all fits in nicely like that. All of the cupboards have got these little turny catches. Just a good idea to make sure that they are closed before you drive off, and then nothing moves around. So the rest of the drawers and cupboards, we have this, which is good for drying your clothes on, I should say, if you wash things out in the sink at all. Yeah, that just folds in like that. And in here we've got cutlery. There's 4 sets of everything. There's also most of the kitchen equipment that you would need. These are for the hot pans to save the worktops. This is for sharp knives. I'll just show you. A little knife roller there. Keep it nice and safe. And then in here you've got all the crockery. So there's 4 sets of glasses, beakers, mugs, dinner plates. There's only 2 side plates, doggy bowls and human bowls. And then in here, this is just the other kitchen stuff. You've got some really useful stuff in here. A nice big salad spinner, foldable colander, sieve, it's a juicer with a jug, chopping boards. And then this is quite useful. Obviously you're welcome to use it on walks, but also if you have extra boiled water that you want to keep, either for making drinks later or just for washing up or something like that, you can store it in there. Again, just make sure you wash it out when you return the van. And when you're driving along, probably best to put the kettle away empty, obviously, and that just fits in there like that. And then all the other kitchen stuff you've got here, it's all velcro down, so it's safe for driving with. You've got your other utensils, salt and pepper, a little basket for vegetables, and then this is quite handy. This is a little food waste bin, so you can keep the other rubbish to a minimum. So you just put your food waste in there. There are bags for that in here, and just make sure you empty it when you return the van. All of these are velcroed on as well, I should say, so you don't need to worry about anything falling off. And then Julieta comes with just some basics foods. Feel free to use them. These are also on Velcro. So again, as long as the Velcro's there, they shouldn't move around when you're driving. Got teas and sugar. Good place to put in your cookbooks if you've got any of those. And then this here is The other food storage area is a little larder cupboard that pulls out. You can fit lots of things in there. Big cereal boxes fit in there. Anything else, again, that just secures like that when you're driving. And then got a full-size fridge and a little freezer compartment. And then the last cupboard here is just sort of general cleaning stuff and a few useful things. There are some USB fans, good for keeping it cool in the summer if you're somewhere hot in Europe. There's a first aid kit, some washing up things, and this is a collapsible washing up bowl if you're on a campsite and you want to go and use their sink if it's a bit bigger. It's quite useful. And then this is a drying mat for when you're doing the washing up here. You can just spread it out and put everything on there. I'll talk you through the sink next. So to use the hot water system on Julieta, you need to turn on the Webasto heater. This is for the heating system and also the hot water, so you need to turn that on. See a little green light has come on, and then you need to leave it for about 2-3 minutes before you want to turn on either the heating system or to use hot water. And of course, for anything with water, you need to make sure that the water pump is on. Again, that's located in the cupboard under the sink. And there is a switch here, which is on the on. That will turn the pump on. And I will just show you hot water. So there's a mixer tap. And there, that's coming out nice and warm now. So it takes a few seconds, and then you can just control the temperature like you would in a normal domestic tap. It's got a useful function as well where you can pull it out like that for squishing around, because it's not a very deep sink. So when you turn the water on, you can hear the pump kick in. You can see it's a nice solid flow. That's what you want. If it starts stuttering, it might mean there's something wrong. So I will talk you through where there is the pump. So if you turned the water on without the pump, nothing would come through. And that is this switch here. You can see on, off. So if I turn it off and try and run the water, it doesn't work. Turn it on. It works nicely. Yeah, so if it starts to stutter, that could also mean that you're running out of water. And please, if that happens, do turn it off and do turn the pump off, because if the pump is trying to work without any water, it can run dry and get damaged. There is the water outlet switch here, which is for when the grey water tank is full. You turn that on by turning the green light on. That opens the valve. You won't hear any noise, but if you look under the van, you'll see the water pouring out. But it is illegal to empty grey water just in the wild in this country, so try and do it at a designated spot. This is the water tank here. It holds, I think it's 100 litres of fresh water. There's a little shelf at the back there which has a fire extinguisher on it. Hopefully you won't need that. And some loo roll. And yeah, and then you've got your cleaning stuff back here, cream cleaner for the sink, and then these are some toilet items that I'll talk you through as well in another little video. So that's that cupboard. So this is Julieta made up for the daytime. 2 big sofa areas, good for entertaining or for working. There's a lovely swivelly table which we'll move to make the bed later. I'll show you that on a separate video. But during the daytime it's really lovely to have some airflow through the van, and there is a Velux window here which is pretty self-explanatory. There's a button that you push and there's a couple of settings. and it lets loads of air in. There's also a fly net or mosquito net, and there is also a blackout blind for night time if you want it. But it's actually quite nice with just the mosquito net, because then you can see the stars when you're in bed. And the other airflow would come from, there is an extractor fan in the kitchen, which is really good to use when you're cooking. All the instructions are written on it, but I'll do a separate video for that as well. When it's on, it has another roof bit that opens up, and when you've got the two going, there's quite a nice airflow through the van. I'll just turn that off for now. So I'm going to talk you through the lights in Julieta. There's a few different lights. This one is on the shelf. They're all on dimmers, so you can create nice moods. This one is the main overhead light. And these are for the kitchen, some nice spotlights for cooking. There are also a number of different USB points around the van, which are good for charging your phones or laptops. Everything runs off the batteries, which are charged either through driving or from the solar panel, and I'll show you those buttons and guides as well separately. There's also, just behind the camera, there are two lights here, which again are good for reading, and they've got little USB points underneath as well for when you're in bed. So we've also got some overhead storage up here, and to show you that, I'm just going to remove this lampshade, which is good to do when you're driving and also definitely at night for a bit of headroom. And that just pops up here like that. And then this one we generally use for wash bags, toiletries, quite a lot of space up here. They've got hinges, so just make sure you pop that before you close it and click it in place. It's got towels for you if you choose to hire those. And then in this last cupboard we've got a few other fittings. That is all of the shower bits, which I will show you later. This is all the stuff for the awning, which again I'll show you later. And here we've got some suction cups, which are useful for the awning, and also just if you want to hang other things on the outside of the van. So these are all up here permanently. Again, just pop the hinge. And then this is quite a useful storage box. It's also velcroed down, just for, there's some games in here, some cards, and it's useful just for keeping little bits and pieces, house keys or anything like that. It doesn't move around. And then this is the other storage. This is where we put the clothes. So these three cupboards are all the same. They've all got drawers that come out like this. So loads of storage for clothes in there. And then the other storage items under here, which I will show you once I've taken the table down. That is big storage item, big storage box rather I should say, and this is where all of the electricals and the batteries and things like that are. This is, under this bank we've got two cupboards. That is where all of the technical bits are located, batteries and heating system. Hopefully you won't need to go down there, but if you have any technical issues, please get in touch with us and we will talk you through any remedies. And the bigger item here, that's for storage. Nice big storage area for bags or anything bulky that you might have. So thanks for watching our little tour of Julieta. There are a few other little videos about how to use the shower, how to put the bed together, and also all the controls in the cab. But hopefully that's given you a good idea of what it'd be like to stay in Julieta.